All right, so I'm going to do a recap for today. This is my fourth red day in a row, and it's the biggest red day of the last 4 days. I'm on a little bit of a losing streak here. I'm not happy about it, but this is part of trading. So this is my P&L over the last 30 days. I only had one red day on the whole year before this week. And then I was red on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 35, 3,600 each day. And today I'm down 7,400. So this is the biggest red day that I've had in quite a long time. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's been quite a while. So I'm definitely disappointed about that. I'm kind of asking myself, what did I not pick up on sooner that allowed me to go this red? There's a couple different things. So like on Monday, I was actually having a choppy day. I went red on my first trade. I kind of recouped those losses. We could look here. So I went, I guess, green, then went red, then green, then red, and then back to green. And then in one trade on LICN, I kind of got smoked. Big loss on LICN, and it happened quick. So that was my first, that was a surprise. I didn't expect to go that deep red on that stock. It just, the bottom sort of fell out, and, it got me good. Then if I go back to Tuesday basically started deep red on LICN and was only able to recoup a little bit. The problem on Tuesday, I went back for the same stock that had gotten me on Monday. So LICN, it got me on Monday, and I went back into it on Tuesday. The reason I went back into it was because on Tuesday morning, we got this nice squeeze. I mean, this was really nice. And what ended up happening was I jumped in my first trade at 6, and then it goes up to 684. I didn't make that much on it. I got back in, and it goes up. I added to the position. It goes up to a high of 7, and I was in way too high. It reverses, and then I was holding big size, and I caught a good size loss. So that was Tuesday, and the problem Tuesday was that although sometimes I'll go red early in the day, there wasn't anything that I was really able to recover on because the gap scanner was so bad. And then yesterday, and what's interesting is on Monday and Tuesday, the stocks that I did make money on were actually penny stocks. So yesterday on Tuesday, I was like, okay, we've got a penny stock squeezing, and I ended up losing like 3,000 on it. Tried to recoup a little bit, but I just couldn't, right? So what stock was that yesterday? Saidu. So Saidu was squeezing up, penny stock, and I thought, well, I did make the most on penny stocks on Monday and Tuesday, so I'll give this a try. But this ended up rejecting and coming back down. So that was Wednesday. All right, so then this morning I sat down and I was like, I don't like any of these gappers. I'm gonna wait for something to start to move. And I wasn't expecting AM to squeeze at the open, but obviously it did. You got a really nice squeeze at the open, a nice move. And right now it's coming up a little bit, but high volume selling, unless it gets back over 350, there's no reason to be a buyer on this. This is just too weak. So on this one, I jump in with my first position at 320, and I tried to buy 20,000 shares. I was like, okay, this thing is ripping. Here we go. I've got something to work with. Boom, I'm in. I only filled 8,000 shares. So it goes up 30 cents from my entry. I would have been up $6,000. Instead, I'm up only about 1,000. So I was frustrated. On resumption, I said, I got to be careful because AMV yesterday on resumption reversed. What I want to see is it breaking through the highs. And so what I was looking for, it opened, it goes red. I was like, nope, not buying that. And then when it curls up here and it breaks to new high over 65, I was like, I'm in. I bought 15,000 shares at 70. It then drops right back to 50, and I was like, oh God. It breaks and goes to 36, and I was like, I'll add another 5,000 shares. Let's see, first 1 minute candle to make a new high. That'll pop us right back up to 380, up to 4. It ends up going lower down to 331, and I finally stopped out. It goes to a low of 325, and I finally stopped out at 323. I was like, no, it's going the wrong direction. So 22,000 shares from like a 365 average, 40-cent loss approximately, $8,500 loss, my biggest loss of the year. And that put me from up 1,000 to down 7,400. Red day recap, max loss. I'm below my max loss. Max loss is 5,000, so I can't take any more trades today, which is important because although it's never fun to have consecutive red days, and while I could say maybe there's a chance that AM will curl back up and I could make back my loss, having red days that are, this size for me is tolerable. It's about as red as I'm willing to get. If we went back like a year ago, let's see, you'll see some red days that are much bigger. $39,000, 38,000, right? These are big red days. And one of the things I learned from those big red days is that, it's a lot better just to cut it when you're down 10 or down 17 or 8. Just cut it sooner. So comparatively, my red days this year are a lot smaller, and my P&L is a lot better too, because my P&L last year was like, I went red on the year and came back up and went back to green. I still finished the year with $1 million in gross profit. But one of my goals for this year, yeah, sure, we could look at 21 too, but 21. So one of my goals, so that was a $268,000 red day. But then there's a $478,000 green day. That was 94,000 in the red. So all of that actually serves to make being red 7,500 today feel very okay. That is okay. That's not bad. It's a red day. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy to have 4 red days in a row. My consistency has been solid. And, in P&L terms, I had a pullback, a nice wave back up. I'm on a pullback here. Would I like to recoup half of today's loss and be down only 3,500? I would love to. But that's not going to happen today. I'm below my max loss, and that means the right move for me right now today is to walk away. I don't want to overstay my welcome. I don't want to push it. I want to cut the losses early, walk away, maybe too soon today, but before it gets worse. And this is something that I kind of set as my intention around June of last year. June of last year, I had a red streak as well. Let's look at that. Let's see, 6/1/2022, 6/30/2022. So, let's see, yeah, I mean, it was actually not that bad, but I was really, really upset at right there. And I think the reason I was so upset there was because in one day I gave back everything I had made basically on the month. In 2 days, I went from, green on the month back to flat. And that's not a fun feeling. Nobody likes to have that happen. And that's what happened, on that month. And so I kind of said, you know what, I need to tighten up my losses. I need to get them smaller. And I was able to do a pretty good job with that. Let's see. I should have probably just assumed that AMAM would reject because of what happened yesterday on AMV, but the fact that it was as strong as it was made me think it was gonna keep going. So that was a mistake, as it turns out. So yeah, last year, January, February were a little rough. March smoothed out a little. April, May, June, July. So once I had this kind of breakdown in June and I was like livid, I really turned it around well. Had a great month of July, great month of August. September was good. And then October got me back to like feeling really, really frustrated. So I had sort of 3 or 4 points where I sort of hit my max emotional just limit last year, and one was in March, one was in June, one was here in October, right? So I had a slow month, wasn't anything special, and then 5 red days in 2 weeks, right? That's not fun. November had a lot of no trade days, just was like, I'm not liking this action. December had some no trade days, but also really was pretty dialed in. And then 2023, January was great. Really good month of January, and February was great until Monday. So, yeah, you know, I mean, this is part of trading. It's just the way it goes. There's not much else to say other than that. This is trading, and there's ups and downs. And one of the things that I look at that always does give me confidence is being able to look back and say, I'm someone who's made over $10 million in the market. So, you know, there's 12 million in gross profit. And that wasn't easy. I had some really, really big emotional swings during that, you know, journey to make $12 million trading. I had some huge ups. I had some huge downs. And today, it's not the biggest red day I've ever had. This drawdown in these 4 days is not the biggest drawdown I've ever had. It's not fun. I'm down 5, 5, 5, and 7. So I'm down 22,000 this week. You know, not happy about that. But with $5,000 as my daily goal, my weekly goal is also about 20,000, 25,000. So $100,000 a month. You know, that's kind of what I set as my goal, and that keeps me on track for, you know, $1 million a year, give or take. And I did it last year. I've done it for the last 3 years consecutively. 2019 was slower, but in any case, right now, having this historical data is a big confidence booster. One of the things that a lot of beginner traders struggle with is that they don't have this historical data because they start trading with real money right away. So you don't have anything to look back at that gives you kind of a reference point of what you've been able to do before, or how you can trade. And I do think that that's a problem for sure. So, you know, my 2 cents is to trade in a simulator, gain a lot of experience, and then all of that data that you have, that helps support you as you go through drawdowns. Because you look back and you're like, okay, I'm still a trader who made this much money, who did this, this, and this. I know what I'm doing. I just need to, you know, I just need to stick with that. So, anyways, you know, that's it. That's it for me. Red day recap, 4th red day in a row, 4th max loss day in a row. I mean, I guess not exactly max loss all 4 days, but whatever. I mean, I'm rounding up. I'm being a little hard on myself. These were today was the worst. And it's definitely a bummer. Very disappointed. And, you know, but that's what I signed up for. That's trading. If you can't handle that disappointment, if you can't get yourself back on the horse after getting knocked down, then this isn't going to be the career for you. And there are times where sometimes I think it's not the career for me because I don't feel good. I'm not happy about this. And then I remind myself that I've made $12 million, and I say, oh, I guess I do know what I'm doing, more or less. So that's it for me. As always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical. Red days are certainly more common, but my results in totality are not typical. So, of course, manage your risk, trade in a simulator before we put real money on the line, and I'll see you guys back at it tomorrow, and we'll see. I don't have really any expectations for tomorrow. It'll probably be a no trade day for me. I thought AM coming up was going to shift the tides a little bit, and that was incorrect. So probably take the day off tomorrow, actually, and then come back on Tuesday because we have a long weekend on Monday. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys around the corner. See you guys soon. All right, bye, everyone.